All right, Trina, let's see if this really will work.
Right?
It says we're live,
I
so
think we are.
oh,
Got
there's
it,
a
got it.
recording in process. Did you hear
Yes,
that?
I did. I
Okay.
got it twice. It's like, got it, got it.
Got it in my head, man. Well,
Yeah.
hello everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome. You know who I am, my beautiful co-host, Miss Trina. This is a second look, and Miss Trina, I missed you last week. How
I
are
missed
you?
you. I missed you and I missed Soul Tribe. And thank you all for your prayers and your support. And thank you for praying for Judy's father. You guys are just, you guys are really making a big difference. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to
Thank you.
tell you, the thing with Judy was moving. It really was, because she wrote and she said, I didn't even my dad left the building. It was
Yeah.
just that
So
peaceful. So
peaceful.
yeah,
Yeah. So peaceful.
yeah. And I know you
Yeah.
had with your significant other there with Randy and that
Yeah.
passing. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And that was so crazy because it was so fast. It was just, wow. Hmm.
that's how I'm gonna go in my sleep.
Yeah.
I mean,
But even the way he did it, I mean, wow, it was pretty good. And it was really,
a smooth transition.
yeah. Yeah. Once he got to the acceptance of it, because everything's so fast, everything
Mm.
happened so fast. But yeah, once the acceptance came in, it was just like you watched him leave the building. It was amazing.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's the journey that awaits us all. We're all going to make
Yes.
that transition. So
Yes.
yeah. Um, Tomorrow's subject, we're going to get on with Pal Chang. I'm actually inviting him on the show because it's really interesting. I have been saying this. I came to this conclusion about 4 years ago that this realm is not the realm of the living, but it's the realm of death.
I'm pretty
And
convinced, Wayne, it's purgatory. I think it's an in between.
interesting. It
Yeah.
teaches us death, though. We think that
Yes.
we're alive, but
Yes.
yet we're immersed into death. The minute we're
Yes.
born, we're dying.
Yes.
That can't be the realm of the living.
It's
I was like,
not.
wait a minute.
You're
If you're in
right,
the realm
Wayne.
of the living, you're supposed to live, right?
I came here from the realm of the living
See,
and I remember it. So
bingo.
I know. It's not a think, I know. So yes, you are absolutely correct. But I'm still trying to figure out what is this place because it's
I'll tell you what the United
insanity.
States is. If you're a citizen of the United States considers you dead.
Correct.
Now, most people don't realize this, that birth certificate is not a birth certificate. It's
No.
actually a certificate of your death,
Yeah, it's a certificate of the arrival and the registration of your corpse.
of your corpse. Bingo.
Yeah, there
The
you go.
United States cannot do business with a person who's alive, so they have to invent by legalese a fictitious person, which is the name on your corpse certificate.
Correct. Because sovereigns cannot be ruled over.
Woohoo! So I forgot to speak favor over everybody, so I just do the big wave.
Favor.
Got the favor thing.
Yes.
Favor is abounding in our lives, nothing missing, nothing broken. I am always the head. I always come out on top. And, I got favor abounding in my life, and we are prospering. And I hope you say the same thing to you. So, welcome everybody.
Absolutely.
Happy birthday if you got one. And looks like the chat room's filled up.
Hi, guys.
All
Love
the
you.
all the moderators,
Much
hello.
love.
All the rest of y'all as well. Technically, I guess we're all moderators in one way or the other, but
Yes, absolutely.
yeah.
Wayne, it's so amazing you're talking about the treasures. And I think when we're in the lands of the living, there's no fear. There's no fear of death. There's no fear. And 90% of our fear is fear of death. It's built into our ego construct to keep us alive. So those treasures, it's like, how do we obtain the treasures and what are the treasures when we die? Every time I look at that, it's always about consciousness and connection, connecting to each other.
That's who I give praise to. It's not God in the sense because God is limited. It's as I say in my consciousness, I give thanks to the one who gave me consciousness.
Yeah. And in
I
my
don't know who
mind,
that is, but
in my
you know,
mind, it's always been termed as the absolute. So
hmm,
I don't know what that really means, but behind the matter is the unseen aspects of creation, which are the absolute. It's the something out of nothing. It's the thing they speak of in faith. When you bring the things that are not seen into the world of the seen, it's the connection from the as above to the so below, but it's through the power of the absolute, because it's all of it and none of it all at the same time.
it is.
Yeah.
The reason I came with the title today was that this weekend I've been saying this, that the energy in my life, the whether it's the ethereal, whether it is the physical, there has been a complete reversal. And it continues to manifest in so many ways. This weekend, I was gifted with me. And let me see if I can share this, Trina.
Okay.
So, do you see that?
Yes, I do.
That's me, folks. That's me at, I think I just about 3 months old. There I am. So,
You're so handsome. Look at you.
I mean, I look at this and you
Oh,
can't
Wayne,
help
it's
but,
adorable.
I mean, you're going, okay. So I wanted to share that with people because what I found, Trina, was something that was, well, it made me, number one, so appreciate this journey. And in a way, it was allowing a full connection. And what I got was a gift from my grandparents who have long since crossed over decades ago. But this was some of the things that they saved from my missing point of my life. And I'll show you this. This is quite interesting. I have, for instance, I don't know why my grandparents saved this. This is my first vacation Bible school.
That's
First done.
so awesome.
And here's the thing. This is the 1957 edition. I don't know if we can actually show that to
Yeah, we can
everybody.
see it. Yep,
Yeah.
we
So,
can see it.
and here's the interesting thing. They do two things. Here, number one, they teach you to obey.
Yes.
The other thing they teach you is to bring money.
Yes.
So think about this now, Trina. So you're introduced to God, right? The first thing God wants you to do is to obey because God is pleased when you obey. The second thing is, and understand, I am only 5 years old at this point, that I bring money to God
Right.
because that God is pleased when I bring money.
Yep.
So
I don't know any God that needs me to obey or needs my money.
if God needs my money, he's a broke son of a bitch. That's all I gotta say.
Absolutely. How could the all need anything? Especially
Exactly.
something a little measly human could give you a fake piece of paper that you attach value to. That's absurd.
But the thing is, it shows how back in the 50s and the 60s, the indoctrination was, oh, it was this, and we thought as a society that was normal. So then I have my second year vacation Bible school. This one this is the 1959 edition, so everyone can see.
Wow.
And in here, they found out I knew who my teachers were. This date is June 18th, 1962. I was
Wow.
about to turn, in this case, I was going to turn 7 years old.
Wow.
And it's just interesting because apparently I had this gift of two things: making a disturbance apparently learning to read pretty well at an early age. And I use that as well. Now, got some other things. By the way, here is my certificate.
Yes.
If you want to see that, folks, 1960, I think it's 61, isn't it?
And Wayne's handwriting in second grade was as good as theirs. Unbelievable, Wayne.
I said,
unbelievable. In second grade. My
Speaking
God.
of second grade, so this is from my second grade.
He wrote that, guys. That's him writing
That's
his
my
name.
yes.
That's his handwriting.
And to prove it, my teacher, this is what I was doing. And you can see the date.
Yes, March 7th, 1963 or 2?
1963 or 60, yeah. 63.
I thought it was 3.
Yeah. And
look at that, Wayne.
So I was in the gifted program. Now I understand kind of some things that these were memories, but yeah. So, and finally, the last thing I'll share, this is my first coloring book.
I love it.
And as you can see, I always signed my name.
Yes, you did.
And I always colored in the lines.
Yes, you did. I did too. That's so funny.
And this is 1959, 1960. So
wow.
63, what, 61? Yeah, years old. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, little, and this to me was a treasure. I mean,
absolutely.
You know, a treasure.
You know, anything that you can hold that brings you back to the vibratory rate of when you were a child is a treasure.
I am reborn. I got to tell you, I reconnected with me. I mean,
yes,
you know, that was a healing of amazing, because this was actually my energy at this. I mean, you think about it. I was 66 months old.
Yes, absolutely.
So fucking weird. I mean, you know,
it is. That's so weird. And 7 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know why when the 7, it was just like he has been gifted the reconnection of his 7. That's what I heard.
I you know, and I don't know how many of you have, how far your memories of your memorabilia of you, but for me, it brought tears. It brought back, because I didn't remember going to Vacation Bible School.
Wow.
Like, when the freak did that happen? But it's interesting how it triggers when you see it and you see your own handwriting, right?
Yes, and you remember.
Yeah, it goes like,
you start to remember. It just opens up that file that was forgotten.
Yeah. So and what treasures in you?
You went to Bible school twice and didn't remember. That's what I mean. That's a powerful remembering. Oh, that's such a wonderful
and one last thing. This was given to me when I was 3 years old.
Aww.
We put our pajamas in this. It's so fragile. It's coming apart in the back, but yeah. So
neat.
Things that you go, wow, you know? So absolutely. Trina, how far back do you have things of Trina?
All the way back.
Did your mother and your parents save everything?
Not everything, but a lot of things. And then I was always a memory keeper. I had my own camera in 6th grade, which nobody had. That was the only thing I wanted for my birthday. I wanted a camera. So I was like, started taking pictures. So I have childhood pictures of my friends that they have none. And I'm the only one that has pictures of their childhood because I took so many pictures. I started with Polaroids and then went to the 35 millimeter. And I was always known as the record keeper. And remember when we were kids, we always used to write notes to each other. I had boxes of these notes I used to keep, and I used to deliver them to my friends on their birthdays and like crazy stuff. Like one of my friends, we were at the racetrack one day and he gave me his Boy Scout knife because we were carving stuff into the trees about the date and stuff. And I gave it back to him on his 21st birthday. And so I've always kind of done that stuff, and my mom started it. So she was always a memory keeper, and it kind of went to me, and now I'm the memory keeper.
Interesting. I'm just reading some of the comments in here. It's interesting because, so many, I'm just reading Chloe says, you two are lucky. All my childhood stuff was burned up in a fire. You see, and
Yes,
Chloe, and then that's that, there's no way you can ever replace that. I
you
mean,
can't. But do you know the most amazing thing is even though it's lost in this world, it's locked up perfectly within your subconscious mind. So if you want to reconnect, all of those memories are inside of you. You just have
yeah,
to get into the subconscious part of your mind and go through the files and reconnect. And you can literally, the physical representation of these things in your hand, Wayne, unlocked you to such a beautiful level. But when you actually connect to the inner child in the subconscious mind and go back into those memories with the child, the memory is 50 times stronger. It's more palatable. You can smell it, taste it, touch it. It's just a different type of reconnection. So those of us who have lost things in the fires and stuff like that, know they're gone in this world, but they're not lost in your memories.
see, this
Your
book has a
Akashic holds them.
smell.
Yes, it
Yes, it does.
does.
It does.
Yes.
It's got that. Well, I don't know
And
how
you
many.
want to know another powerful tool to reconnect with the inner child? Most children, when they were very young, were exposed to Play-Doh.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Smell Play-Doh.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
It is because it reminds me of the Big Chief books we used to have back in second and third grade. Remember those?
I think so.
Well, the only ones that we use because the Big Chief. In fact, that's where this paper came from. Was one of those Big Chief books that
Oh,
everyone in my class had one. Martin and
right.
Heidi say the number of your name has a meaning value in gematria. Yeah.
Yes, it
Is there a
does.
connection? I think that there is. Yeah.
I think so too.
Oh, let me just show you to back this up. So I've told everyone 29 is my number. It has
Yes.
always been my number. Are y'all ready for this? Check out the price on the book.
29 cents. Oh my
And then
gosh.
1829 is the one up top. So
Yes.
I pointed that out to Lynn and I said, hon, I said, here's 29 following me right from the big go. And Jenny did a reading for me here recently and looked into the number 29. 29 is a very powerful number. It is a combination of 2 and then 9
Which
and
is
then
11.
which is
Master
11.
number.
If you go
Yes.
backwards, it's 7,
Yes.
So and it's been showing up everywhere. I mean, I got a receipt the other day from the store, $29 exactly. I mean, it's just, yeah.
Very interesting, Wayne.
Oh, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So, yeah.
I have just been called to see what the 29 is in this book.
So,
Huh. The Beatitude of Sacred Rapture.
whoa,
Whoa. Oh my
baby, come and
God.
light
Can
my
I read
fire.
this? Can I read this to
Sure,
you?
I'd love to hear
Oh
it.
my gosh. The Beatitude of Sacred Rapture. Let your true self be seen. Search for the deeper spiritual purpose and the opportunity for healing beneath the conflict and suffering. If you have been in pain, this oracle brings a message of a joyful breakthrough. Your soul is growing stronger, more able to have faith in wisdom than in judgment or doubt. Commit to your spiritual path and know that you are making progress, even if things seem difficult at any time. Know that any such difficulty is a part of your healing and that you will successfully move through it. Trust yourself. To feel that you are fully seen, loved, and recognized for who you are honors your true self. To be witnessed in such a state, truly be held in all of your uniqueness, quirkiness, vulnerability, and strength is deeply empowering. This is how the Spirit sees you. So when you connect with Spirit, you learn to love yourself and others unconditionally, and you become generous with your forgiveness, you are also less likely to be hoodwinked by the ego. You start to see yourself and others at the soul level. When we are beheld, the need to behold arises. Wow.
I love that.
Yeah, we need to bear witness to the sacred, to acknowledge what is true, which means cutting through the fog of illusion, deception, and confusion with a clarifying knife of higher perception. There is quantum power in pure vision. It empowers the viewer, that which is viewed. Seeing from a position of inner spiritual truth, we look below the surface, which has an alchemical potency to set healing in motion. Oh, wow. And it goes on from there. If you want me to continue, it's not that much more.
Sure, sure.
Okay. What vision of yourself or others do you either cling on to or free yourself from? How might your choice either encourage or impede soul awakening? When life is tough, you can admire the courage it takes to grow. There is a compliment inherent in being allotted for all life's challenges. If something big has shown up on someone's path, then the universe is basically saying that they are enough of a spiritual badass to deal with it. It's vote of divine confidence. If you or another are battling something, you can choose to feel awe and respect rather than fear and despair. Rapture is a state of intensely pleasurable joy that lifts one into communion with the sublime and the sacred. It is not only the personal experience, but it is also the transfusion of divine delight into the collective soul of humanity. Look at you, you favor dropping, prosperity dropping human being. You're doing all of this, Wayne. It's beautiful to see this. This is the kind of joy and generous, soulful, without reason or agenda, and delightfully becomes contagious. It is a wake-up call. It shifts any stubborn clinging onto negativity, and it refreshes the soul and nourishes the heart. It reminds us that everything is okay. Rapture is the astonishment, the sudden intake of breath in response to an inner realization of something beautiful and beyond description. It tears us out of our misery and despair, and it plugs us into the electrical current of enlightenment. The darkness is cleared in an instant.
All this for 29?
All this for 29. And then the last part of it, a beatitude is a blessing. It is the highest blessing. The oracle of the Beatitude of Sacred Rapture brings guidance that the beautiful healing truth of spirit is in your reality. All else is a nightmarish misuse of your imagination, and it is done through the ego. When you have a sense of spirit at work in your life, totally trustworthy and having your back, you are seeing clearly. When you are hopeful, your heart feels empowered and you are in a zone of truth. Trust in these moments. Recall them whenever you can. Count all of your positive moments and wins, no matter how inconsequential they may appear. Every one of them is a precious drop of the divine nectar nourishing your heart, allowing yourself to be seen and seen, to see and be seen. And remember that even in the tremors and the trials and the tribulations of human life, you are a radiant soul who is growing ever more luminous through the wisdom, compassion, and strength distilled through all of those experiences. Look for the light beneath all phenomena, and you shall know the peace and love that is within all beings, always.
Wow.
And that's it. That's you, 29.
Man, oh man. And it's so interesting as we go through life how we see these things. I mean, So Trina, I want to ask you. So, and it's kind of a question to everyone in the chat room, and thank all of you. Thank you for hitting the like button. We like you to feed the algorithm.
That's right.
Yeah, feed
That's
the
right.
algorithm.
Yes.
There is so many people in here. Zigzagzilla is in. How are you, my friend? Ronnie, good to see you.
Hello, my friend.
Yes, there's
so good
Jenny.
to see you all. Much love.
Oh, so many. Robert V is in the house, and David Castle and Rufus, I'm sure. Mary wins because Mary always wins.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Mary.
It's like, works well for me. And Eye of the Maelstrom, so many beloved abstract. I think that is Jossie, I think. J-A capital S-I. I think Jossie is.
I think Jossie. Yeah, that's what I was thinking it was too.
Yeah. I hope it is. ACAS.
It might be Yossi because J is Yas in a lot. Yossi.
Could be. Yeah. Yossi. Yeah. Yeah. Let us know. There's Janie, The
Ja or Ya.
One of the two. It's one of them.
Yes.
So Trina, tell me, because to me, you see, you could have handed me the winning lottery ticket. You could have done a number of different things.
Yes.
And if you were to tell me that I had to trade that for that, I tell you to take your filthy lucre, and I'm keeping my memories.
That's how you know that you are truly a master.
Yeah. Don't want it. This is me.
Well, it'd be because you understand the most important part of what has made you are those memories.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is what we're here to obtain. Because when we're one with the all, there's no separation. We can't understand kind of any of it because it's all of it. So we separate from that so we can learn through an illusion of being separated. So through that separation, we get to take on these characters and we get to go live life. And I do believe this is the land of where we're testing our own soul growth, because this is the land of imagination, and it's kind of like a dream state, very holographic in its nature. So when you start to get past your own fractal of what you appear as in this reality and connect with the fact that you are greater than that, you become a source of light upon this planet, and you become what is known as the light bearers. And this is what we're doing.
So I'm going to share something with you because I've shared it with the group. And you see, I like our Tuesday show. This is a very intimate time for me. It really is.
Me
it's kind
too, Wayne.
Sitting back, having some coffee, and who said that? New says, row your boat. Ain't it so?
That's right.
They told us the truth when we came in. We just didn't believe it. We actually along the way thought this was real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the thing that I'm sure so many said coming in, I ain't going to do that again. That ain't going to happen.
Yes, I remember doing that, Wayne. I remember doing that. I'm like, oh, hell
no. Look at you now, baby.
Right here I sit.
Damn it, did it again.
That's it. I did it again. Oh,
it's so funny. So, I've had this recurring dream where I'm in a hotel and then I'm in a house and I am supposed to be going somewhere and there is a deadline. And in my dream, prior to what happened night before last, and it was very profound. I even told my wife when I woke up, I was never able to find my car keys, never was able to find my airline tickets, was not able to get back and pack my suitcases. It was always I can't leave my stuff in there. And this was a recurring dream that was happening, and it had many different variations. Well, when I connected to all this, because I'm up Saturday night, it's past midnight, and I'm meditating on this. I said, "This is me," and and it bothered me because I could not remember in my mental capacity these memories. Yeah. But in any case, I started connecting. Anyway, I had a dream, and in my dream, Um, it was so profound because everything was in order.
Yes.
Lynn was there with me. We were packing our suitcases. Everything was completely in order. And I woke up and I said, now that is weird. So I got a sense that just from what you were reading, what here, the treasures, isn't it amazing how these treasures just unlock other treasures?
Absolutely. And those treasures, I've been looking at going into my DNA. And when I do that, it unlocks lifetimes. And I try not to stay in them long because it's too overwhelming for my consciousness. But those pieces, those little pieces, those little fragments, those little blips that I get, the wisdom and the information that comes in them are so overwhelming and powerful. And it's like it's a deeper layer of the going to get the childhood stuff. It's like you have a feeling like we're always so worried about holding on to all this shit that we think is real in this world. When you really get into your own inner world, you realize that all of those are constructs of your creation, and all those experiences were part of your soul's path. And when you start to see that all of it is an illusion and all of it was created out of your own mind, it's almost like you hit the jackpot because you understand the treasures are untouchable. And you've earned every single one of them through strife and struggle and learning and challenge and conflict and pain. All these things brought you to an awareness that you didn't have before. And that knowledge, I think, is the ultimate thing that we're all seeking to experience, is to test the power of our own inner wisdom. And how
This
well
is
can we
really
play it?
weird, Trina.
What?
I'm reading in the chat room.
Uh-huh.
There must have been already, and y'all in the chat room can verify this. I've counted 6 people who have, and I'm just reading what they're writing, almost a similar type dream.
Yes, I've done
Now,
it
come
too.
on. Now, what is going on
Yes.
here? And people saying the two things, your wallet, your keys. Yep. Packing.
Yes.
I mean,
And
so,
those are your identity. Those are symbols of the identity. The
but how
wallet,
come
the
so many
keys, the
people are having the
purse,
same dream?
because they've lost their identity and now they're regathering a new one. You're
Hmm.
anchoring into a new self. And when you get it right, the dream, the keys are there, the suitcase is there, you get on the airplane because you're going to travel to a higher plane of consciousness. You all are figuring it out. And the ones of you that are still looking for your keys and stuff, oh, you're on the precipice. So keep going.
This is significant because I study dreams, and it is
Yes.
rare, very rare, for your packed ring. Indeed, Guy, I am. We're ready to take off here.
Right?
But this is very odd because there's what about, I'm seeing 165 so people in
Right.
here. I don't know how many's in the chat room, but here's the thing. When you have 6 people in less than 150 that
Yes.
are having the same type of dreams, then that tells me that this is just more than, I don't know. Maybe it is
Yes.
finding yourself. I don't know. It's real interesting because yeah, yeah. Well, I
And
can tell you,
Wayne,
I,
this
I
group,
pardon, huh?
it shows you this group is truly, we're connected on the subconscious
Oh,
layers of creation. We're all processing similar things and it hits us around the same time. It's the craziest thing. I've seen this happen with this group over and over again. We are family.
and here's more. Brandon says, I had the same dream last night. Couldn't find my
Yes.
wallet and keys. Yeah. Well, I can tell you this, Soul Tribe, I did. It was
Yes.
wonderful. And you know what?
Yes.
Because I usually would wake up from those dreams feeling anxious.
Panicked.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's
Yeah. Panicked.
borderline
You're
on
like,
panic.
God, where is my
And I
shit?
wake up and I'm going, okay, what is being told to me here? And this is interesting. And then, like I said, and the interesting thing, the dream was so detailed, I was actually packing my socks inside my shoes because that's what I do, professional
Yes.
packer.
Yes.
And I just remember it was it was like, okay, yeah.
And everything came together.
Well,
And
it
you
has, but
look
I
at
got to tell
that,
you, it was troubling for over. I had that dream for the last year and a half or so. It was a haunting dream.
and it resolved yourself when you regathered parts of your childhood.
Amazing.
Right? Those are those missing links. Those are the things that we're so desperately needing to get back on alignment with, is what we were when we were little, because that's the true you. In this world, you get lost from what your true you was. You know, the world molds you and turns you into this crazy thing. But getting back to that, getting back to little Wayne, that's the answer to
It is
all
the
of
answer.
it. Yeah.
You know, I spent a great deal in meditation just running my hand over the energy of what I did nearly 62 years ago.
Yes.
And it's amazing because if you can feel the texture of the brush, and
Yes.
you know, I have to say I don't get the color choice I did, but it is the color I wear today.
Absolutely. I think that is the most profound clue that you as a child were completely connected to the mother, the divine feminine energies.
Well,
The purple blue is indigo. That's
it's
the
true.
color of the third eye. And the black and the trunk and the tree, that's all the divine wisdom of the divine feminine. The hidden, the subconscious, the magical parts of this reality that's not consciously available. It's only available through the subconscious,
And it's
showing your
almost like I'm
powerful
painting.
root.
Look at that.
Yes.
And I know this is therapeutic, so we're in therapeutic session right here. But I mean,
Yes.
this is serious stuff. This is someone else. I need to say this. Everything is permissible. It's just not everything is profitable. So
Yes.
for whoever needs to hear
For
that,
real. Yes.
Timothy says, my wife lost her car keys for real in the past few days. And I just found out this morning, I remembered using her bottle opener the other day, and we found,
Excellent.
on the, there's, and we found them on something here. That's interesting.
That's
James
awesome.
Sprite says this group might thrive in getting a lot of indigo crystals. Ooh.
Yes. Yes.
Rita, you just gave me something to look into. Indigo. I
Yes.
had not thought about that, but you're right. It is.
Yes. 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 It's one of your strongest powers, is working with that ray of light.
I'm
That's
beginning
where
to
you,
get
yeah,
convinced there is the thought out there that many of us are indigo beings.
absolutely.
I think that I think that's true.
I am certain that I am one, but I also, I hold a trinity with that. I have indigo, I have rainbow and crystal. I have all three. All three. All three. And the hardest one for me to deal with is the crystal part. It's hard. Wow.
Why is that?
So emotional, it's so sensitive, and it's so pure. This world literally harms it. It hurts it because it doesn't understand it. So that's the hard part, is the crystalline is connected to the most subtle. The subtlest vibrations of all creation are held within that crystalline field. And that's why the crystalline children are so off the charts oversensitive. This world is super hard for them. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Teresa said that she found 2 dimes and a huge black feather yesterday. I would say that you got some fortune coming your way,
Wow.
or
Wow.
the angels are talking to you.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
that is rather beautiful. I love that. You
Black
know,
feather, mystery and magic, also messenger, crow.
well, last week, when was it? It was last Thursday. I think I told everyone, Lynn and I were standing outside, and a feather just about that big just come
Yep.
floating down.
Yes.
Like,
Wayne, I have
okay.
had that happen to me too. And it's
See?
amazing. And it's usually after I'm meditating and praying and focusing, I get feathers a lot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's no bird. I'm like, where did that come from? It's just, it's such a beautiful confirmation that
A lot
we
of
are
people are
making,
resonating to what you just said.
yeah, we're making it
Yeah.
manifest. Yeah, you guys all
And
have it
lard.
too. Most of you are holding all three of those frequencies in your being. One's your dominant. My dominant is indigo. But
I,
the
I gotta
others are
say,
there.
so Anne Laird, I believe that is right. Hello, Anne. She says,
Hi.
been listening to Wayne for years. Thank you.
Yes.
Was just sent down the rabbit hole on the number 29. As Wayne talked, I used my fingers to discover my name. Anne is the number 29.
I love it. I love it.
I love it. I mean, there
I
you
love it.
go. That
Yes.
is so cool. Brandy says, I found feathers yesterday. Is it a good sign? Yes, it is. At least angel lore says that if you find a feather, it is the angels are smiling on you. Now, here's a funny story. When we started teaching on this, when was that, Teresa? I guess that's Trina, I guess it was, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. Started teaching on the angels, the 72
Yes.
magic angels, and then we've gone from there. The strangest event was when I started teaching that, we went out the next day and our yard was covered in feathers.
I remember that. I
You
was
remember
like,
that?
holy smokes, Wayne. The whole yard, the whole
My
street.
neighbor came,
I was
knocked
like,
on
are
the
you
door,
kidding me?
and he said, what happened here? He said,
Yes.
where did this come from? Because it was getting in his yard. And I mean, it was thick. And I said, I just told him, I said, the angels really dig me.
Yep. Yep.
He looked at me and said, all right. Walked out. So anyway, yeah. They love us, folks. They love us. That's all I got to say. They love us. Jenny says, Theodore and I go out and he has paths of feathers. Often he calls them his angel feathers.
Absolutely.
Love Theodore.
Oh, absolutely.
Jenny, that's what he thought. We
God.
had a pillow fight. Thought we had kids over here. And I said, no, we don't,
The angels had a pillow fight.
I guess they did. I mean, they did some shedding,
They were having some fun.
Hey,
That's
Trina,
probably
do
all
you
the
know?
dancing, Wayne. They're probably dancing because you dance all the time. They're probably dancing with you and they're shaking their tail feathers and the feathers fall off.
Hey, the other day I had them all twisting. Come on, baby.
I see
Let's
them
do
dancing,
the
Wayne.
twist. I told him, I said, get your ass down here and start twisting,
Right on. Right
My wife,
on.
she's upstairs and she's just laughing, she says,
I bet she is.
It's like, okay, fine, but the angels causing my okay. Can you feel the lady next to you in spirit? There's a lot of spirits, Jenny, in here. Are you seeing a female one? Yeah. I bought this REM pod. Freaks my wife out. And because I'm doing experiments, I'll put it in a room and make sure that there's no disturbance in temperature or air or anything. And yeah, we've got visitors here.
Absolutely.
That's all I got to tell you. We got visitors here. And they seem to be coming in more frequently. I don't know. Yes. Maybe it's just the time.
No, I think it's your frequency and you've earned it. And like I said, when you had that vision with the golden serpent, wow. I told you, Wayne, hold on to your shorts, buddy. Something big's getting ready to happen. And it did. It did.
I remember we did that show, and I remember, that dream happened to me on a Friday night into a Saturday. I'm reliving it right now again. I mean, wow. Yeah.
It's so weird. We're sitting here talking about the 7, and I was literally just like told to look at the 7, and it's really interesting.
Well, let's hear.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, you can't make this shit up. It's so weird. Okay, let me find you. Where'd you go? It's unbelievable. It's a serpent, Wayne.
No way.
And I'm like, okay, it's just getting a little strange here. So it's literally the 7 blessings of Eve.
That's the serpent I almost saw.
I'm telling you. Yeah. And look what this says.
By the way, folks, that golden serpent was beautiful.
Absolutely. And kind and wise and magical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've had a little visit with one of
Kiss
those
me
before.
here, here, and here. Yeah.
Well, and then Wayne, I had to cut open the belly of the serpent and I pulled my twin that was sleeping out of it.
Yeah.
And literally, I went before I did it, I was like, I don't want to hurt you. And literally, she looked at me and she winked and she smiled and she put her face back towards the water, like, go for it. So I was like, okay. So, but this is called the 7 blessings of Eve. A spiritual gift shall enter your heart and manifest as a blessing in your life. You have innate talents and abilities which will support your soul into full, glorious manifestation. You have been blessed with a beautiful divine destiny to fulfill. You have a natural healing ability. Choose your thoughts and words so they reflect what you truly wish to put out into the world, because your influence is far stronger and further reaching than you yet realize.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, I'm going, this thing about manifesting the, this is what's been impressing on me. I'm going to talk on Friday on the musings, is that the energy inside of us that each of us generate, and we all have to fight through our doubts. We have to fight through this. Everyone knows this, but it was interesting. I was at a place of business on Sunday, and the people, they know me. They watch this show, and hello, Nature Kiss. How are y'all doing?
Hi, everyone.
And it's interesting because when you walk in, it was like this welcoming, and so the person said, "So what is new?" And the gentleman's name is Matthew. He's a very talented, struggling artist. I guess struggling artists have to pay their dues. Anyway, he says, "So what is new?" And I said, "Well, we're not living in the same timeline that we started in." And he looked at me, and he's in his 20s, and he said, "Prove it." I said, so I brought up the Twilight Zone thing. And he said, "No, man." He says, "No, man." He says, "My parents watched that." He says, "I know it was Rod Sterling." I said, "No, look up on the," and they did.
And he was floored.
Yeah. And in fact, you saw this wave going over all the rest of the people in there.
What just happened?
So, and the other person said, "Is that just it?" And I said, "No." I said, "Look at the Wizard of Oz.
There's more, buddy."
Yeah. And they said, "Well, what about the Wizard of Oz?" I said, "The Scarecrow has a gun." They said, "The hell you say?" And I said, "No, he's got a gun."
Right. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And I walk out and they say, "What time zone or what timeline will you be coming back in?" I said, "I don't know."
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. I wonder if I wonder if I'm coming back into dense realms like this. I don't know if I ever will again. And I'm pretty sure that's why when I cut myself out of the serpent, I got that message that I'm still trying to fully decode, which said, "My child, you now have been set free from the watery grave of which you slept," which was inside the belly of a serpent. And then it said, "My child, you have now been set free from the bondage of the serpent." So I think I have an actual choice now whether or not I am going to have to come into the third dimensional. And I think this is the first time after many failures that I've been given this opportunity to what many would call graduate. And it was because of diving into the fact that everything here is an illusion. The gods that you are taught to worship in this world are soul traps and archonic in nature, and they are under the laws of matter, the material realm. So once I started understanding there was a part of me that's unseen and untouchable, and it exists in a higher dimension, when I started connecting to that part of me and asking that part of me to anchor into this world, so when I leave this world, I'm connected to a straight arrow that goes directly to my highest aspect of myself. I'm strengthening it like a rubber band. And when my string gets cut, man, I'm going to be launched like a freaking rocket straight to the highest part of my higher self that I can reach without destroying my individual consciousness. That's my mark, and I won't miss.
I don't think, it's interesting. I know for myself that the journey is becoming much more crystallized, to say
Yes.
it's interesting because
Mhm.
when I stopped being my own Satan,
Mhm.
because Satan actually just means accuser.
Yes, it's
And
doubt.
it is. And so many of us become our own Satans. We basically accuse ourselves virtually all the time.
Yes.
And
And it starts with give me your money and obey.
it does. Yes, because Johnny is a much more happier person when he obeys and he brings
Right?
his money. Oh,
Right.
sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. What a business plan. I mean, you gotta
Right?
love it. I mean, this is an
Yeah.
evergreen one. But
Yes.
and it's odd, Trina, that you say that, because when I was in Christianity for nearly 50 years, I was my own Satan. The reason
Yes.
why I had it very difficult making progress, because I was always accusing myself,
Yes. Me too.
and I was sabotaging myself.
Me too.
I mean,
Me too.
yeah,
90% of us are doing that same stupid game. We're in that loop of
yeah,
whatever society says you should be or what you should do. And everything's about what do you do for a living? Nothing's about who are you as a spiritual conscious being. You know, we've lost everything that's important to the material world. And
yeah.
this is what we're trying to do is understand the material world is just a function of the truth of which you're really seeking, which is the more subtle, invisible, intangible things like love,
Yeah.
empathy, healing, connection, heart. Those are the things that matter. And those are the things that we gain here through struggle and strife. We learn all these things. And then those are our gifts. Those are our treasures. We get to take nothing
There's
material
our
with us.
exactly. And that was my
Yes,
point to all this.
nothing.
You see, I don't want that money. I don't want it because you know what?
Right.
This
Poof.
goes with me. Just as you said,
Yes.
this goes with me. This
That
is going to
tree is
transcend.
symbols. That
Yeah.
symbol is in your blood now.
Mm.
That tree I could find in your blood. And I could find that picture and I could go into that memory through that image. That's
Mm.
a key, Wayne. Powerful key.
And it is. And it's a powerful reality when I realize that, you see, I can take this with me. And
Yes.
yeah. And
It's etched upon your
it
soul.
is.
It's etched upon your soul, my friend.
By the way, when I met
Yes.
myself going back in time in 1960, 61,
Uh-huh.
what I said to myself is, man, you did all right.
Right on.
I was actually hugging myself and saying, that small
Oh,
child was saying, you turned out all right. Knew it all along.
yeah. You
And
know
I drew
what?
it.
One of the things I've been having to deal with in this lifetime is healing the warrior. And the other thing was to know the difference of true power, organic power versus that which is false and artificial in its nature. So I think through the fall of Atlantis, when I was part of the scientists that were working with the technology and doing the chimera programs and the consciousness transfer from beings of water to land, just all different. We were doing a lot of things. When I learned at the end of that life, when everything was getting destroyed by the archons, and when I understood that these material world gods were using us as puppets to achieve in the material realm, which that they could not do on their own, when I realized the deception of all of it, and that's why the entire civilization collapsed, was because we put our faith in man and we lost our faith in spirit. We lost that. And that was what destroyed us eventually. So one of my issues through this lifetime, in the most challenging technological lifetime of this era, this age, we're into the same situation. Will you be deceived, or will you understand the divinity that you already are? And will you give away your inheritance, or will you claim your treasure?
Well, this is where I think we as a species have got to change. I mean, I was questioned in an email when I said there is no savior coming, because if there is a God of that nature, it would be the cruelest thing it could do to send a savior to mankind.
That's how we
Because
fell in Atlantis. The
exactly,
aliens came down, they gave us their technology, and then we thought we were so smart, and we didn't even know that they were tricking us to harvest our souls and trap us into a holographic prism. And like the Superman, when they threw the people in the prism and they got trapped in the prism, like that's what they showed me. They showed me that they were trapping things in prisms. And I was like, oh, wow, we're in it. This is it. We're in it. This is it. This is it.
I always look at it like this, that until mankind can figure out its own situation, its own solutions, no one from the outside is going to come out, because we'll do it again. That's the problem. If you don't learn your lesson, you're going to do it again and again and again. Like you said, you don't think you're going to come back. I think that if there is reincarnation, then it is a de minimis event.
Yes.
Because I certainly have learned, at least I believe I've learned a few more things. If this is another go around, I don't know.
I do too. I think that through the failures that we've been through over and over again, you finally get to a point where when you're questioning everything, and you're looking at things that we're looking at, those are only certain minds travel down those paths. So all of us in this community, we've been doing this for a long time, and we've always been in the forefront of conscious evolution, higher mind thinking. We've been the priests, the monks, the priestess, the healers. We've also been the rulers. We've also been the killers. We've been it all. We've been it all. So when you start to reconnect with what you are, which is beyond this realm of existence, and start to dive into the divinity that's in you, and start to unlock your own memories and your own past lives, that's when I think you only have an opportunity to exist outside of it. It's only because you have an awareness of it. Yeah.
What an hour.
We're there. Yeah, and we're there, Wayne.
Wow. Oh, I think we are. I think there is
there. Yeah.
Some are a little ahead of others, but that's cool. I mean,
it's not even a matter of ahead. We all have to run different frequencies of the whole. So we're all doing different functions in it. So all of it needs to be there. So we're all doing different parts of it. So it's not lesser or more. It's literally, it's fullness, wholeness. All the frequencies need to be present. All of them. So that's what we're all doing, different parts, little different pieces and parts, and making the strings on that lifeline vibrate.
Yes. I'm just seeing how alone we really are in here. We're never alone.
Speak, spiritual beings, if you would like to.
I love my angels. I still got my hall of fame up there. I mean, and we'll get back into our angels. And yesterday, I got to say, Steve enjoyed the conversation. It was deep,
it was great.
deep.
Yes, it was. It was excellent. Excellent.
Steve has a very keen perspective on things, and this is what I love about the diversity of this group. I mean, it is diversified in thought, and the intelligence is,
It's so strange. You've been bringing up the Tataria stuff. And many years ago, I had a vision, and I'm pretty sure it was from that time. And the only thing I got on this so far was the fact that girls were not allowed to wear pants. And when I snuck out to the stable and stole the stable boy's riding pants and took off on the horse, and my dad caught me, I got whipped. I remember getting whipped, and it was very fancy. Everything was fancy. And because I didn't have the corset on and the big bell dress and all that stuff, oh, I got in big trouble. So, it's very interesting. I through these little glimpses, it somehow triggers a remembering. And even though I can't remember much more of that, and I haven't tried, because like I said, you get too many lifetimes in your head, it'll make you crazy.
Drive you
It
crazy.
will. You won't even remember what your mother's name is, because you'll connect to the other ones you've had. So it can mess with you. So you got to use caution with this stuff. People who get too involved in going into these memories and stuff, you will lose your foundation. So always remember, the most important place to study is here now, but gather what's needed to help you here now through those memories and through understanding past mistakes, so you don't recreate them again, because it's in your memory to do it. It's in your body to recreate that which you've already done. So you have to bypass the programs and start consciously driving your own existence. And that takes a lot of discipline. And primarily, it's about what you allow into your thoughts.
Bingo.
Yeah, because we're masters. Wizards.
Sometimes, I always see that the Fool card, and I always think of the Hermit, because every wise hermit was at one time the fool in the youth. So
yes.
Well, everybody, we love you all. People
so
just,
big hugs, guys. I love you so much.
It's a groovy group. I love them.
It is. I feel them in my heart, and I feel them in my breath.
Yes, this is a groovy group. That's all I've got to say.
I am honored to be in the presence of you all. Seriously, because I've seen you, and you are so beautiful.
Danny, she's showing everybody hugging.
Yeah.
We love you. Well, Trina, good to have you on, honey. Missed you last week.
Me too. I missed you
I know
too.
you had to take care of things, but
we're
back on track.
That's right. Yeah.
And then, folks, we just got to get ready. This is going to be a challenging time, and and so just listen to your intuition.
Yes.
I got to tell you, Trina, everything my intuition that I have put into action, Lynn has been amazed, and I told her, I said, you need to start, because you're really good at it. And we're finding that these little things that we're hearing in our intuition is turning out to be like the best freaking thing we could have done, and we didn't even know it.
Absolutely. When you
weird.
Follow your own wisdom, there will never be a better guide or teacher ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
You
so
just
I'll share this with some people. If you can find them, if those of you who have been, and I'll just tell you, if you're looking to lose some weight, because losing weight is good, it's good for all of us. I have been doing something, Trina, and been doing it now. I cut out, number one, about 70% of all carbs. Just cut them out. I quit eating bread altogether. And I've been doing this thing of eating one apple each day, but substituting 2 meals out of the week in the evening meal by eating another apple. Now, I know it sounds different, but I got to tell you, to date, lost nearly 18 pounds.
That's amazing. An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
There's some truth to it. I found out what it really does.
The digestive enzymes.
It does. It literally attacks
digestion. Yes, it does.
The fat that becomes very resistant.
Not only that, I literally think that there's a certain pectins and certain enzymes in the apple that literally heal your digestion. So
I believe so.
I really do. I've always saw the significance. And think about it, Wayne, when you cut open an apple, what do you see? The 5-pointed star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The gift of the mother. That's her.
So guys, and if you ever have issues with the prostrate, it's amazing what apples will do as well.
Absolutely.
They will literally help heal your prostrate. So
that's amazing. I didn't know that. That's awesome information, Wayne. Wonderful.
Yes. and listen, guys, it happens to all of us. If you're over 30,
Yes,
then you need to start
absolutely.
taking care of that. You know,
Absolutely, because it is so painful. Many men in my family struggle with that.
Dan
My father,
Fogelberg
one. Yeah.
Dawson died of pancreas, of prostate
Prostate.
cancer. Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep.
he was such a beautiful talent,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Robert Scott says, follow the gut. It is the true brain. Bingo.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right,
Absolutely.
everybody. Someone said True Divine says blackberry leaves are great for that too. By the way,
Oh,
Jenny is selling, if you're
teas.
in England, teas, folks. I mean, check her out. I mean, we got a lot of good products here from a lot of people, but Jenny goes out and forages this by herself. And I think she may have taken the kids, but it's work, and it's very good. It's very natural, and it will help what ails you.
It's not just that, it's one of our soul tribe putting their hands and their energy
Ooh.
into what they're doing, the alchemical magic that you can tap into through her love. And it's so potent and powerful. And you guys can use your imagination and connect to her teas through your imagination and imagine drinking it and watch the benefits of what it will do for you. Jenny, thank you for your gift and
Thank you,
talents and
Jenny.
alchemy and
Yes.
love.
Yep. And Nina, she has her products there, folks. We just got so many good
Absolutely.
people. I mean, I could just go on.
Talented people.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. We love you. We'll see
Yes,
you
we do.
tomorrow. Trina, see you
Mwah.
next week too, dear.
I can't wait.